Lafarge Africa Plc, a major player in the Nigerian cement market and construction industry, held its 61st annual general meeting in Lagos. It was an opportunity for the management of the company to engage the shareholders on the 2019 financial year performance and outline the strategies for 2020 and beyond.
This annual general meeting is being held today by proxy pursuant to the approval of the Corporate Affairs Commission. This meeting is being streamed live to shareholders, regulators, and those who are not physically present in the room. As already announced, I had notified the board of my intention to retire as chairman and step down as a member of the board of directors after this annual general meeting. In all, I've been privileged to serve on the board of our company for over 15 years, having joined the board in March 2005. I served for the first 10 years as a non-executive director, and since May 2015, I've had the privilege of being your chairman. Having overseen the progress in our objectives, I feel completely fulfilled, retiring as chairman, knowing that the board and our company is in very, very good shape. I'm pleased to announce that Prince Adebode Adefioye, who joined the board in November of 2012, has been appointed to succeed me as chairman from after the end of this annual general meeting. He's been an active member of the board and understands the heritage and culture of Lafarge Africa. I ask all of our shareholders and stakeholders to give him your support, and please remember him in your prayers.
The 61st Lafarge AGM followed the guidelines and protocols of Lagos State on restrictions of persons attending an event. It also aligned with the Corporate Affairs Commission's provisions for AGMs by proxy and virtual participation. In its independent auditor's report, Oluwatoyin Gbagi, representing KPMG, stated that the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements gave a fair view of the financial position of the company and its subsidiaries.
In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the company and its subsidiaries as at 31st December 2019, and of its consolidated and separate financial performance and its consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended, in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, and in the manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Cap C20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigerian Act, 2011. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of Schedule 6 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Cap C20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company so far as appears from our examination of those books, and the company's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts. Signed, Oluwatoyin Gbagi, on behalf of KPMG Professional Services, dated 3rd April 2020.
This was corroborated by the Audit Committee, chaired by Mr. Adebayo Adeleke.
In our opinion, the scope and planning of the audit for the year ended 31st December 2019 were adequate, and management's responses to the auditor's findings were satisfactory. Signed by me on the 27th of March 2020.
Shareholders made their comments and observations on the Lafarge Africa Plc 2019 financial year performance.
Out of all the COVID AGM we have been attending, I have not seen any company secretary or the staff of secretariats working the way Lafarge Africa Company Secretary worked before this meeting, in making sure that today's meeting is a success. I really thank them for that, and I hope they will keep it up. Having said that, I will go straight to page 23, note 4, where we have summary group financial result for 2019. Looking at this page, this year's result is an impressive result compared to our previous year. Despite that, our revenue for 2019 declined by 2% from 217.8 billion to 212.9 billion. Our profit before minimum tax, it grew by 1,285% from negative position of 1.5 billion to positive position of 17.9 billion. This is very good. Also, our profit after tax also grew by 92% from 8.1 billion to 15.5 billion. Our retained earnings also grew by 13%. In fact, this year's result is an encouraging result, and I hope that the management will keep it up.
Bringing us to the point of dividend at this AGM. When you are parting a foundation, when you just buy a land, and that land is already stony or good, but when you go and buy a swampy one, before you bring it to the level to start bidding. So the 1 naira we are receiving is not actually the work that has been done. We appreciate it.
Highlights of the event was the voting by shareholders to re-elect directors, non-executive directors, the authorization of directors to fix, the remuneration of the external auditors, and election of audit committee members. Mr. Balogun Balogun, who was stepping down as chairman after serving on the board for 15 years, gave his view on the 156% growth in PAT for Q1 2020.
We're the leader among the building materials companies in the country. It's an area that we focus on. Firstly, you will find that we're using very significant renewables in our power production across the business. You will also find that as a business, we're very, very focused on the sustainability of the materials that we're producing as well as using in all of our elements of production. I think what I will tell you is that the business is extremely resilient and it's well prepared for this season, and you will find that it emerges out of this process, a winner, and in many, many respects, a much stronger company.
The GMD and CEO, Mr. Khalid El-Dokani, speaks on the various key drivers of growth for Q1 2020 and strategic direction of the company post-pandemic.
Well, one of the main driving key is the divestment of South Africa that helped to reduce the debt and accordingly the financial cost. And this is one of the main factors where our net profit has significantly improved. We are still working on the operational side where we need to improve our operating profit as well as our EBIT and EBITDA. So we have delivered some of the positive action plans in Q1, but we are trying to build on it and get it better in the coming quarters until the year end. Well, sustainability is an ongoing thing. I mean, I know COVID-19 came in as more of a negative impact to take us a little bit out of our normal track, but as part of a member of Lafarge Wholesome, sustainability is one of the key factors that we look in throughout the year, with or without the COVID. So with the COVID, it becomes a little bit more challenging, but we are still on track. We look at waste management, we're looking at improving our environment, we're looking at producing alternative fuels, reducing our carbon footprint globally on a group level, and we are trying to do some initiatives in Nigeria as well. So sustainability comes as one of our core values that really, with or without the COVID, it's part of our DNA. As management, we owe replies to our shareholders, and we owe them transparency and visibility on our decisions as well. So I'm very positive. It went very well. I think everybody is engaged, and I really felt the sense of belonging and loyalty to the name of Lafarge Africa Plc.
Also, Mrs. Bisi Bakare, a shareholder, assessed the performance of Lafarge Africa Plc and shared the expectation from the company going forward.
This year's result is a very fantastic result compared to previous year of 2018 that was negative. You know, we shareholders, we are not happy last year that everything just turned upside down. But we are very happy this morning when we see that our company is going to pay dividend on ₦1. Not only that, the revenue also grew over 92%. So we are very happy with that because that's why the revenue declined. The profit before tax and profit after tax grew. So we are very happy with that, and we hope that God's on their side will get dividend that is more than ₦1 next year. That is during the current year of 2020, despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah.
The Lafarge Africa Plc 2019 financial year performance showed significant improvements with a 92% growth in profit after tax by recording 15.5 billion naira from 8.1 billion naira in 2018. Shareholders will expect this steady trajectory and effective management of the post-pandemic phase by the company.